Wexbury, Jolly Party here. There's still time to grab an ice, cold, refreshing can of Coca-Cola.
Yes, how are we doing? It's going to be me just for now. LB's just delayed a little bit. So I thought rather than making you all wait longer than you need to, I thought I'd just full send it whilst waiting for LB to get here. Then when LB gets here, I can see him at the side and we could just sling him in. How's everyone doing? Chilling. I feel like I missed yesterday because I stayed up watching the UFC. LB's videoing Random Donnie's singing. I seen that, and I was a bit concerned as well when I seen that. He did that 9 minutes, and I was like, he's got quite a jog to get back to his house from there. I look tired. In fact, Lauren, I've been well rested. I slept all day Sunday. Every single second of the day was slept. A certain friend of mine decided to, that's in the stream decided to, on Saturday night/Sunday morning, decided to shave all his hair off right in front of me and do an R9 haircut. So it was worth it. It was worth it. You was up until 4 a.m. watching Pie play champs. Nah, at 4 a.m. I was watching UFC. So madness. Lots to talk about. Not really a lot to talk about. I kind of really don't want to talk about Brentford. That's never the case that you want to be jumping into. But so we thought we'd just launch into a Q&A stream, just where you can ask us questions and we can just chat shit for a little bit. And speaking of chatting shit, the master of it is here. I can see him in the corner. LB's here. Let me add him into the thing before we throw it in. Can we just ignore that game 55? We did do a deal, didn't we? We did do a deal that after today, it will be all ignored, all forgotten about. Let me just... There we go. I'm adding LB in now. I'm patching him in. Wexbury, I can now hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, buzzing. Right. Hang on, bro. Let me just... Bang. Right. Look at that. What a fast change that was. And LB. There you go. People can hear you now, bro.
Yo, what we saying?
Chilling, bro.
Yeah, I heard you say then, bro. We made the deal, innit?
We made the deal to never.
Today's the last day of the deal.
This is the last day of the deal. So after today, that game didn't exist, and it's all. But to be fair, after today, anyway, it's World Cup extra. We could just focus our attention to more World Cup style things, rather than dwelling on that game on Saturday, because I'd rather just never speak about it again. Said it didn't exist. That's kind of been my way of getting over it at the weekend. Benno's still fuming. You're allowed to be fuming now, just for today though, Benno, mate. After today, you're not allowed to be fuming because no one will know what you're fuming about.
Before we do the Q&A, right? Can we just ask random questions? Can we just talk a little bit about how we're feeling following the Brentford game? Because it's one of them, innit? It's for me, because I still think we're going to win the league. I don't know how to feel, bro. I don't know. I don't know how to feel, because I want to be raging and I want to be annoyed because, quite frankly, the performance was so bad. Why you always just got extras in the show?
Bro, hang on. Whoa!
Come say hi to the stream. You may as well now. You keep coming in every single time.
Oh no.
Yeah, here's my mum. She keeps coming in anyway, so she may as well be a special guest. There you go.
Hi.
There you go. There's mum.
What a stream. But yeah, you know what it is, right? I don't know how to feel, bro, because like I want to be annoyed. I want to be frustrated at the players. I want to be frustrated at Pep because, quite frankly, the decision making during the game I thought was poor. I felt like he should have made more subs, and I felt there was obvious substitutions that he could have made, which would have benefited us. I want to be annoyed at some of the players. I didn't feel like some of them were. I don't want to say they weren't trying because I think that's too strong. You know what I mean? But like. It just felt like they were leaving something in reserve because of the World Cup. And I have said I understand why they might be doing that because the World Cup is a big thing. And they only get to play in 2, maybe 3 if they're lucky. Some of them just 1. But on the flip side, I kind of feel like, do you know what you said during the Liverpool game? Is like, it's annoying, it's frustrating, but it doesn't, it shouldn't impact our season in the sense that if you still believe we're going to win the league, then what is it? So for the last 2 days, I've literally just been like, I don't know. I'm annoyed because it was such a poor performance, but I kind of don't know like how to feel. And I know it's proper weird, and some people might be like, ain't that deep. And it probably ain't that deep, bro, to be honest with you. But that's just how I feel, innit?
Yeah, no, because the thing is, though, you say it ain't that deep, but that's what you're left with now for 7 weeks. When you think about the Premier League, you think about the last game that City played. I mean, at the end of the day, it's put us in a worse position, yes, in the Premier League. However, the day finished exactly how it would have. I mean, we wouldn't have been anywhere. I mean, we wouldn't have been top of the league had we beat Brentford or anything like that. We still would have been second in the league. We are still second in the league. However, we're just now 5 points rather than 2 points, which is a rip. And it's frustrating that, you know what? A lot of my frustration doesn't even lie with the players. A lot of my frustration lies with Pep. Does
that not like make you feel? I don't know how to say it, but does it not make you feel a little bit like dirty, bro? In the sense that like you don't want to criticize Pep.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say the exact same thing, and I hate that frustration line with Pep Guardiola. But the thing for me is just the fact that he stuck with the whole system all the way through it, and you could see how narrow we were, and it was like crying out for someone to hold the width, and maybe someone on the wing holding the width like a Grealish or Mahrez might have created a little bit more space in the midfield, in the middle for Haaland. Might, do you know what I mean, open up a little gap for something to happen, but we kind of refused that and we went narrow the whole time. I know towards the end, in the last like 10-15 minutes, I know we took Cancelo off, Foden and actually played left back, which is pretty mad, given that we thought that was a joke. But he did play left back, like a left wing back more, and he did kind of hold the width. But I think all in all, the game was just very, very poor. And I think sometimes it just reminds me of that Leeds game, bro. But I guess when the Leeds game came around, I can't remember whether we was in a better position when or not. But it just reminds me of that, and I'm hopefully that's that out of the system, bro. I think the World Cup after that performance, and for the past few games we've not been playing very good. We've not been playing very good. Like, so I think after that performance, I think I'm ready for the World Cup. I think I'm ready for everyone to get away, go to this World Cup, hopefully come back fit, and then they can just focus on our season rather than having this in, because then there's no questions anymore. Like me and you question it a lot. Like you said it a second ago, we question whether the players are putting all in. Like, and I seen Ollie B say it's a poor mentality if they are doing that, and it is a poor mentality, and that's why the rumours that Foden's not been picked is because of that poor mentality, like focusing on the World Cup. But like Lewis said, I think as a player, it must be quite hard to just turn it off. Yeah.
I mean,
like knowing that the World Cup is around the corner and you see a man get dusted left, right, and centre, people getting ruled out of this World Cup, getting injuries out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for that not to be in the back of your mind. And I think.
No, for sure. And I think that, like, this is what some people didn't understand, and now we can. It might be easy to explain. I don't agree with it, but can I understand it from a human point of view?
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, of course you
must be difficult as a player to turn that off, like, because bro, it's different for us as fans, because I think for the World Cup as fans, sometimes it's frustrating seeing the World Cup and international fixtures and that. But for a player, you're playing for your country. I think it's a bigger thing.
especially the ones that have like got a chance of winning the competition. I think that's even more. And I know people will say, yeah, but we pay their wages and they should be playing for the badge. I don't disagree with any of that. I completely understand it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, some players, Phil Foden, will play in the Premier League for 13, 14, 15 seasons. What, he's going to have like 3 World Cups maybe? So you can understand it. And I'm not saying it's right, but I think you've got to have some sort of compassion and some understanding to it as to why some of these players may have, and I'm not saying that is the reason, but may have dropped the pace a little bit. The crucial thing will be, bro, and you just said it then, is how do we respond after the World Cup? And I'm not looking at the Liverpool game. The Liverpool game is stupid scheduling. That anything can happen in that game. I'm looking at Leeds. I'm looking at the games after that in the Premier League. How do we respond? If we play like we did against Brentford, then forget Premier League. You know what I mean? Jesus, we'll be a top 4 clash the way that Newcastle and them are pushing. But yeah, I just feel like in terms of Brentford, in terms of that game, I feel like it's a one-off. It wasn't good. People are allowed to vent their frustrations, but ultimately, I think it's a one-off. But time will tell.
I think I'm hoping really it's a one-off. I think like I say, time will tell. I think after, and then I'll be there proving the pudding after the World Cup. And I think a lot of people are just saying that in the chat. And I think as soon as this is what I'm excited for. I'm excited for a World Cup now because I mean we have to kind of turn our attention to that. I'm excited for these streams during the World Cup and everything that we've got going on personally. But I'm excited to go watch England. Hopefully get quite far. And then once we're back from that, the lads can only be focused on one thing, and it is City. Because there ain't nothing else coming up in between then. So it'll be good to see how our mentality shifts and how we perform during the next half of the season. Like, there's a job to do. And like you said, there is a thing of it still in our hands. It doesn't feel like it because we're 5 points behind. But we beat Arsenal twice. Not as difficult as that is looking to be. If we were to beat Arsenal twice, then we go a point clear at the top of the Premier League. So you can say it's in our hands. But
it is in our hands.
Well, it is, and then but Arsenal can also say it's in their hands to absolutely end this title race.
Of course, both teams have it in their own hands to win or lose this league. So we'll have to see. I've got a few super chats here come through, bro. I got Buffy, who said the Ronaldo interview with Piers Morgan and many many laughing faces. That is absolutely insane. Surely there's no way back. Surely he's gone now. Where, bro? Where?
I thought it was weird, the fact that he's been out of he started that game the other week, didn't he? And then he was out of the last 2 games, and I was thinking, why is he just dusted? Then I reckon he's done this interview, and that's come to light during at United, and then basically they've just gone, you can't play for us again. He can't play for them again, surely, after that. Bro, he's full slate in the club.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's allowed to slate some of the stuff that he said. I think he's fair, but you can't be slating the manager, man. That is just not acceptable. And the funny thing is, I didn't think Ronaldo should have ever played again once he walked down the tunnel. I would have never played him again.
Yeah. Well, we said this a lot.
But, he got him back in, didn't he, Ten Hag? And he sort of like made peace with him the second time because he'd done it before with the rest of the team when they all got off. And for him to come out and do this, it's just wild. I mean, you go on Twitter, you see United fans arguing with each other. What he's done now, he's split the club. He's split the fan base. Great for us, it's funny to see and all that. But United were doing okay. They're doing all right. And they got the win yesterday, didn't they? Last minute goal, good for them. Things were starting to look like positive. The fan base were all behind Ten Hag, and what it looks like from looking at social media now, it's you're either Ten Hag or you're Ronaldo, and that's a bad thing that he's done there. I think most people will stick with Ten Hag, but I'm already seeing people arguing. You've got Ferguson getting involved. Should he get involved? Should he not get involved? It's just a complete mess, bro. And I can't lie, right? I'm so fucking glad we did not sign this guy. Like, the main reason we wanted him, I think I can speak for you here, is just to rub salt in the wounds of the United fans.
We being us, not City.
It
would have been funny if City wanted to just sign him to do the same. But yeah, the reason we wanted it, we were gassed about it because we're signing their legend. It's their legend, not our legend. Nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? We're just signing their legend. That was why that Ronaldo stream is still one of the funniest streams we've ever done, because the absolute meltdown, bro, in that stream was just unreal, and we got to live it for a very short amount of time. But it was worth doing the stream just because we got to live during that moment of thinking that could happen. We never wanted to sign him for the play because, I mean, it was always a question of whether it'd happen. And after it fell through, it was frustrating because all our targets were kind of in the bin. However, it's on the face of it now, he seems to be a bigger problem than what it's worth. I think again, as what happens with all these kind of signings, I think he would have done better at City. And I know that he scored 19 goals, whatever, last year, but I think he would have absolutely walked it last year with City. I reckon he'd have scored a lot of important goals. I think he would have given us maybe even a better season than what we had.
You know what's funny as well? I think the one big area that he would have helped us last year is in that Madrid game.
Yeah, the mentality.
That's the problem with this team. The only issue we've got with this squad, in terms of experience, is that who there's won the Champions League? Do you know what I mean? Have we got anyone there who's won the Champions League? Genuinely,
I mean, previous to our own Champions League final, I think is it only Gundogan who's been to a Champions League final in that squad, other than ours?
Possibly, yeah. So we need that, and that's why.
Oh yeah, Scott Carson's won it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot.
That is mad, that, you know, isn't it? The fact that the one player in our squad who's won the Champions League is actually Scott Carson. What a goat!
But the thing is, we've not got anyone in there who knows how to go in these difficult situations. So until we either sign someone that has that experience, which we've not done. You sign someone like a Haaland who will just bully the team through into it. In terms of just getting so many goals, you don't really have to worry about experience, or we just do it naturally and we just finally get across the line, and then all of a sudden the team knows how to go through them difficult moments. I still believe that this is the season that we do it, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. The guy in car with a 449 said could be a lot worse. 6 defeats in 7 games for us, including the bottom 3 teams in the league, and 6-1 loss to Celtic. Obviously, speaking about his beloved Hibernian. Austin King with a 5 says every point drop this season has right wing Bernardo and Gundo as the 8. I did not know that.
I didn't know that, and also Jack Grealish doesn't start in any of them. Or play a single. Jack Grealish has not played a single minute of losing City side.
Yeah, a single minute.
That's mad.
So this is a thing that I wanted to discuss because, and that's a good point, Austin. I didn't know that, and people can give us the thoughts in the chat about that and this. But this whole Grealish thing, the fact that he's not played in a single minute where City have, is it lost or just dropped points? I think it's lost.
I think it's lost.
Yeah, is that an actual thing or is it just a pure coincidence? Because I've seen people again last night on Twitter
debating it
because someone's put the tweet out, it's gone viral. Is that a coincidence that Jack Grealish hasn't been involved, or is it a thing where Jack Grealish really does help our team in some way or another? What are you saying, bro? Do you think it's a coincidence or do you think it's legit?
Oh, by the way, it's not lost; it's dropped points. We've not dropped a single point. Okay, so see, that makes it even worse. I think because Jack Grealish, every time he's on the pitch, the defense can't. Basically, Jack Grealish never gets marked 1-on-1 ever. I mean, since he's been at City, I think we've seen it very rarely that he gets marked 1-on-1. They always double up. Which again, like I said before about the Brentford game, which might have been worth putting him on, is it creates a lot of space. And yes, you might think that when Jack Grealish gets the ball, he does just kind of get the ball, run at the defender, cut back, recycle possession again. However, he's making forward movements up that pitch. Yes, they might be slow. Yes, it might be, lethargical or whatever it is, whatever the word is. It might just be like, you look at him, it's not exciting to see, because he's running at a player, but then he turns back and passes backwards. Now, and I think that is still an area that he needs to improve on. I think Pep said that himself. However, he's making them advances up the pitch. He's driving the play forward, and when he's recycling that possession, he's two players are committed to marking Jack Grealish. So there's got to be space somewhere. So when he's passing it about, do you know what I mean? Like it just seems to open up gaps. The other thing as well, that Erling Haaland has scored his most goals when Jack Grealish has been on the pitch. Like a lot of it points in the same direction, and it's pretty wild. It is actually wild to think that is crazy. But another thing is that like we've seen the free kick that Kev scored the other week. Like sometimes you just need them fouls that Grealish brings. I think. There's always going to be the hate for Jack Grealish at this club because he doesn't get the stats, the goals and assists. But he clearly does things that Pep wants him to do. And the fact that we've not dropped a single point within the team and Erling Haaland scores the most goals when he's in the team is clearly very good for this football team. And this is why I'd much prefer Grealish to be playing. I mean, in our predicted team, we wanted Grealish and Mahrez.
But well, this then begs the question: if it's not a coincidence, and by the way, guys, I have put a poll in the chat, so make sure you cast your vote in the chat. Let us know whether you think it's a coincidence that City have dropped points when Jack Grealish hasn't played, or whether you think that there really is something that Jack Grealish brings to this side, which means City don't drop points. Let us know. This begs the question: if Jack Grealish has to play, the only place he's playing at the moment is left wing. So then Foden plays right wing, or Mahrez, or Bernardo. But then obviously Austin's saying, well, with Bernardo's played right wing and Gundogan was the 8, that's not been successful. What do we do? Is it just a case of Foden right wing? Because I think the best I've seen City this season is Foden right wing, Grealish left wing.
I agree. That is the best. We played that against United.
Yeah. Can anyone tell us how many times we've done that this season, in which games as well? Because I'm really curious to know. Obviously, it's just a random chat, so I'm not come prepared. I'm really curious to know how many times we've done that. That to me looked like our best front three. And then I think that the Gundogan or Bernardo Silva in the middle with Kevin De Bruyne, I don't think that becomes a major issue. I think that depending on the game, depending on maybe who you want to play there, I think most will say Bernardo Silva, but I don't think it's crucial depending on what match you're playing. But I think the front three of Grealish left, Haaland up top, and Foden right is probably the best front three we've got. And the problem is, you take Grealish out of that and put Foden left wing, well, then the stats don't look good. As people are saying, when Grealish ain't on the pitch, that's when typically the losses are coming or the draws are coming. So I don't know, man. It's just, but why is he not playing that more? Because I don't know. To me, that has looked clearly, not even like close. That has clearly, to me, looked like our best front three this season.
Yeah, it feels like with that Pep's experimenting in different ways where I don't think he needs to. Maybe overcomplicating it. Like Liverpool, bro. Pep clearly experimented, throwed out a different formation and that, overthought it, and it didn't work. But then what happens is when this is why it leads back to my frustration with Pep after that game, is the fact that he won't change it. Like, he commits to his... And I back it, do you know what I mean? As a manager, you got to make them big calls. That's why the big manager say this a lot. But he commits to his ideas. But he has this unwillingness to go back on his ideas. Basically, with Pep, it's plan A or plan A. He doesn't even bother with a plan B because he's not going to change it. He's not going to change it to a plan B. He's full sending plan A. If plan A doesn't work, he'll keep playing it till it works. And that stinks. Yeah.
I think this is something that we need to keep our eye on after the international break in this. Does this thing about Jack Grealish, is it just a coincidence? I mean, 78 people think that it's not a coincidence and that Jack Grealish really does have that positive impact. 21% of people in the chat do just think it's a coincidence. But again, I also want to see how much do we really throw Foden, Grealish and Haaland in there as the front three. I'd like to see that a little bit more. You know, like I say, I've been backing Mahrez. I think Mahrez has been playing well and maybe been a bit unlucky. But Foden, Grealish and Haaland, make no mistake about it, in my view, it's our best front three.
It's clear. It clearly seems to be our best, and I'd love us to just full send that after this World Cup break, pending that everyone comes back fit. In my head, I was thinking, and this could be absolute bullshit, right? Before anyone tries to call me out, this could be completely wrong, and you might know as well, bro. I just in a thought in my head is the fact that Kyle Walker's not been in the side for a bit now. Was Kyle Walker in the side when we was playing Grealish and Foden? I'm just having a feeling that maybe Pep, there's somewhere in the team that Pep doesn't trust us to play Grealish and Foden. Now, Kyle Walker might have been injured when it was at that point, but didn't he get injured in that United game?
Yeah.
And wasn't that the last time we've seen Grealish and Foden?
I can't remember us playing Grealish and Foden since then, so you might be right.
So I'm thinking that maybe Kyle Walker offers something that allows Grealish and Foden to be on that pitch, which I don't know what is.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. And yesterday when I did the player ratings, I did say to people in the chat, I said, look, I do think we're heavily missing Kyle Walker more than we probably imagined. And we probably got away with it at the beginning during his injury. I think we got away with it. But then the longer it's going on, I think it's becoming more and more of an issue. I'm looking at the stats now, bro. Just to see, I've got the games up on Transfermarkt here to see when was the last time they played.
Zeno says it was Wolves away. We played it against Wolves away.
Yeah, Wolves was before though. Wolves was on the 17th of September. United was on the 2nd of October.
Oh, so yeah, because United, we played that. I'm sure we played Grealish, Foden, United.
Yeah, it was United. That was the last time we've seen it.
So I feel like that was in my head then, bro. When you were saying about it, I was thinking, what else? Where else on the pitch could have stopped that formation ever coming to light again? And
But
Kyle Walker being out.
In the Premier League, bro, we've only seen it 3 times in the Premier League this season, according to Transfermarkt. It was West Ham, first game of the season. We've seen it Wolves and Man United. That's the only 3 times we've seen it all season in the Premier League.
So maybe it doesn't like it.
But in them games, we won 2-0 against West Ham, 3-0 against Wolves, and 6-3 against Man United.
Dom there says, "Oh yeah, that it backs playing that formation. It backs it."
But can I just quickly point out the Wolves game, which was one of the 3, Kyle Walker didn't play. Which I know it's only 1 out of the 3, but given that we're working on a low sample size of just 3 games, it does kind
still
of
1 of 3. Yeah,
that thing of Kyle Walker having to play for it.
It isn't a thing.
It might not be a thing. Yeah. I don't know. I think let's just see what happens after the World Cup. Hopefully, we see it a little bit more because I think it's our best from 3.
I agree.
Another super chat here. We got a couple from Anthony Gaming. Yes, Anthony Gaming. Thanks.
Yes, Anthony Gaming. Appreciate it, mate.
He says we must do business in January. If we don't, we're going to struggle. But we did last season, and generally, it must buy a right back, or we're going to struggle with the Champions League and the Premier League. What are your thoughts on that, bro? Do we need to sign a right back? I'm going to put a poll in the chat. And I'm going to say, do we need to sign a right back in January?
No. I've said I don't think we're going to sign anyone. I think it all depends on the fitness of Kyle Walker. If Kyle Walker again gets injured during this World Cup or any time up until January transfer window, then maybe we'll look at right back. But I genuinely think Pep kind of has a little bit of trust in Rico Lewis to play some games. So we've seen that against Chelsea. That was a big game, that. So I don't know. I think we're all right. And I think Pep genuinely trusts Stones as a right back as well. So I don't think we'll sign a right back. I genuinely don't. I think there's more chance of us signing a left back because when we signed Sergio Gomez, there were still rumours of us going for a left back during that time. Because they're basically saying if Sergio Gomez fits and Pep's all right with it, we'll just stay with him and not get another left back in. But the talks were there to get a more experienced left back into the club, and now that might still be a thing. We might, do you know what I mean? We seem to be liking going to Dortmund at the moment, but there was that there's that left back at Dortmund. His name begins with a G, but I can't remember what he's called. Was linked with him quite heavily.
Guerrero.
Yeah, Guerrero. So maybe we'll go for an experienced left back. I'm not really sure. I think
Would you sign someone, bro? So you're the manager, yeah. Play this game again. Would you sign a right back? Would you sign a left back, or would you not sign anyone? Bearing in mind, after the World Cup, we're going to say that everyone comes back in our defence fully fit. Obviously, that changes. So you got a fully fit Kyle Walker, Cancelo's there, Gomez is there. You got your Akes and your Stones who can fill in as well, and you've got your Rico Lewis. Do you think that we need to? Not what we think we'll do. Would you sign someone if you was a manager? Do you think it's strong enough?
I think it's strong enough. I do think it's strong enough. We know that Ake can play left back. We know that Cancelo can play left back. We know that Sergio Gomez can play left back going forward. Not so much left back when you're defending. Right back wise, you got Rico Lewis in there, you got Kyle Walker in there, and then you got Cancelo in there as well, and you've got John Stones / Akanji in there. I feel like there's a lot of options to go with in them positions. I'd rather wait until the summer and and then maybe reassess.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating, bro, because you got obviously Wilson as brand, yeah. If he was given more of a go, maybe if Gomez was slightly better defensively, but if we had these players and we trusted them, then it's a lot less pressure, because if Kyle Walker did pick up or not, you could just play Cancelo right back. And I know people are like, oh, he's not as good as right back when he's left back. I get that, but he's still decent. And then you've got someone who can play left back. But because we've not really seen too much of Wilson as brand, and we've not really seen too much of Gomez, and when we have seen a little bit of Gomez defensively, he's been a bit suspect. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, what? In my head, I'm like, no, I don't want us to sign anyone, because I don't really like January signings anyway. I think you get ripped off. I don't think you typically get the player that you want. You usually get someone further down the list. But we've got a great chance this season of doing something incredibly special. I mean, every season we pretty much do, but this season I do believe we've got an incredible chance of doing something very, very special. And I would hate for us to get towards the business end of the season, March, April, May, and for Kyle Walker to pick up an injury, because it's kind of crazy. But if Kyle Walker gets injured, our defense goes from a 10 out of 10 defense to a 7, maybe a 6, because it just becomes so unbalanced. It's
because we end up playing a centre back at right back.
Correct.
So it becomes weird from the off.
I think it takes a heavy knock. The whole team, maybe not the defense. The defense defo does take a knock, but I feel like the whole team, the chemistry of the team just takes a little bit of a backward step when Kyle Walker's not in there. So I don't know. I'm torn. I really am torn. The chat's torn as well. I've done a poll in the chat. Do we sign a fullback? 30% of people think we need to sign a left back.
40%, and it like, and then 30% for nobody. That is mad. That
exactly. So it's 30 for left back, 40% for right back, 30% for no one. So you guys are just as torn as I am.
Just as torn as what? Yeah.
I don't really know what should be done. And the question is, and I said this before, what do you do then if you do decide to sign someone? If you sign a left back. So you're signing an actual left back to replace Cancelo, and then Cancelo just becomes a backup to the left back and the right back, or do you sign a backup to the left back? Well, you've already got that Gomez, so what do you do with him? You got to sell him in the summer. With a right back, do you sign someone to replace Kyle Walker? Because we're going to need someone to replace Kyle Walker in the next 2 years, in my opinion. So do you sign a replacement now, and then sort of just like let them mix, a bit like Cucurella and Chilwell at Chelsea, where it's just like a bit of a free for all. Whoever's playing well, whoever's got the fitness plays. I don't know what you do. I feel like we're in a bit of a weird situation because Kyle Walker, yes, we need to look at replacing him at some point, but right now he's probably still one of the best right backs in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of people are slating Kyle Walker and questioning whether he's finished now during the start of the season, and I agree with the fact that he didn't have a good start to the City season, and then got himself injured. And at the time when he got himself injured, it was you're probably looking at going, well, he's not been playing that good anyway. However, now I do feel like we have missed Kyle Walker. I do think when he comes back, there's a big almost test for Kyle Walker and for City fans, like just to look at it and see if we can put our trust back into Kyle after it. And I guess there's also a thing of, can he stay fit now? Is this injury thing? It seems to be cropping up a lot more than it ever has done before, these injuries.
Well, I've got his stats up here. Let me have a look at his injury history then. So he's 32 years old. Right, and given the fact he's 32, his injuries aren't that bad in terms of like throughout his whole career. He's only had in his whole career 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's only had 11 injuries in his. He's been playing since he's what?
That's the thing though. He's always been solid. Kyle Walker.
Always been solid, and he's only really had 2 major injuries. He had a groin surgery in. Actually, no, he did. He had 3. He's had a groin injury in March of 2013-2014, was out for 100 days. And then in 2014-15, had another groin injury. And that's when he got the surgery. So he had the groin injury first time, and then the second time he got the surgery, he was out for another 100 days. So he missed 200 days with a groin injury. Other than that, a week here, 2 weeks there. His latest one, the groin injury that he had, that is maybe slightly concerning, because if it says here groin injury, that's what he was out with.
Yeah,
obviously that's what he was out with for 200 days.
Yeah,
foot injury.
I didn't think it was a groin injury, but
that's what Transfermarkt says.
I mean,
I thought it was a foot injury.
I thought it was a foot injury as well, bro. God knows. Unless the Transfermarkt have got that wrong, I'm not sure.
No, it is a groin.
So he is out with a groin injury.
Just checked it. Yeah, so he's out with a groin injury. So that's slightly concerning because he missed 200 days worth of football between 2013 and 2015 with groin injuries. So is this a repeat? And he had a groin injury in 2018. Lucky he was only out for 2 weeks on that one. But his 2 biggest injuries, both groin injuries, and that's it. This is now his 3rd groin injury, his 4th groin injury, and this is his 3rd biggest period of time missed. So we just have to hopefully this groin. I've said groin so many times. Hopefully this injury is not a repeat of that one, because he missed 200 days in the space of 2 years there.
Yeah, well, did he say has he had surgery now for this?
So he's had surgery again. So he had surgery back in 2014 in September. He then got another injury in 2018, but he was just recovered. And this time he's got the injury and had surgery again. So maybe this is him. Maybe he's gone, listen, I know what this is. I had it back in 2014. I need to get the surgery. But
yeah. I mean, to be fair, maybe he went to our doctor and that, and they just said, yeah, you've redone this again, so you need to re-up the situation, go back for the surgery because it's happened again. Miral in the chat said, but he's had surgery on his ankle, so I don't get it. Does Kugat think his groin is in his foot? Also, Miral, mate, you need to link your Discord and your YouTube together. I seen you in the Discord yesterday, and you don't have the badge. It is pretty mad.
Carl, yes, says Haaland is not playing the first friendly for Norway, so I think he's more injured than we think. Yeah, I think in hindsight, he didn't look fit, did he? He did not look fit at the weekend against Brentford.
I think the idea was what we said, bro. I mean, the guy can score from very little touches. I think the idea was to just kind of don't overdo it. You're going to be our striker, don't overdo it. If a chance comes to you, bag it. But
yeah, no, I agree. I think it's one of them. We risked him. In hindsight, probably shouldn't because he didn't look fit to me. But when he gets back from his now 7 weeks off, he's only going to play probably one Norway game. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't be that guy with a 10. Yes. Says, do you feel the lack of wingers is our weakness this season? We have better fullback midfielders than Arsenal, but Arsenal have great wingers who have also been their best players this season. It's funny because I did mention this in the summer, that this could be an issue for Manchester City this season, in that we don't have wingers who are just naturally go down the outside and put the ball in since we let Sterling and Jesus go. I mentioned it in the summer. I said I do think it's going to be a problem. I don't think it's going to stop us winning the league, but I do think in individual football matches we will seriously struggle. And I think Brentford was the perfect game to demonstrate that, the lack of width, the lack of real creativity from the wings. So I do think it's a weakness. So to answer your question, yes, it is a weakness, but I don't think it's going to stop us winning the league. But I think individual matches within the season, we will struggle because we don't have. So I would like us in the summer to sign someone.
I'd like a right-footed right winger.
Yeah, which is what we said. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see in the summer. We want to see someone who can play on the right wing, who's right-footed, has a bit of pace, a bit of skill, and a good delivery into the box. No point in signing Jesus Navas, right? You need someone to be able to actually put that ball into the box.
However, we might sign a left winger. Based on the fact that when you look at the team as a whole, Jack Grealish, Jack Grealish is our left winger. If you look at Phil Foden more as favoured on the right-hand side, it's Palmer, Mahrez, Foden on that right-hand side. Well, Palmer has played on the left-hand side, but I think, the left side looks a bit light in the sense that it is just Jack Grealish and Foden who play there. But if you could find a winger who's a bit versatile who can play both, then I think you're pretty chill there. I think everyone wants. Well, there's a lot of people saying Rafael Leao. People saying Carlos Borges in the chat, and I love seeing Carlos Borges' name in the chat because.
The thing is, though, I think we need to look at someone more on the right hand side, because if you look at that left, I think that left's pretty stacked with Grealish and Foden who both can play there. I think the right hand side, I think Mahrez leaves this summer. I do.
You think he leaves?
Oh yeah, I think Mahrez leaves this summer. So I think he goes, and then you've got your Cole Palmer, who is then your Mahrez, and then I think you need to be looking. You've obviously got Foden who can play there. But I think we need to be looking at someone who can play on that right hand side. I'd be focusing more on that right hand side than the left hand side. And obviously Leao's right footed, he's pacey. I ain't seen too much of him. Is he going to the World Cup? Is he in the World Cup, bro? I don't know.
Rafael Leao, I'm not sure, bro.
He's Portuguese,
isn't he? So he will be there. Surely he got named in the squad.
Yeah, so we'll see.
It'd be interesting to watch matches because he played Chelsea twice and both times didn't look well, from what I've seen, I didn't see a lot of them games, by the way. I was half-assed watching them. I didn't really focus too much and didn't really see much. And also, they did they get a red card in both of them games? It seemed like it's pretty much. I know they got a red card in one of them anyway. But I think Leao is someone that we definitely need to keep our eye on.
He does play off the left, though. That's the only issue.
That is the only issue. That is the only issue.
But I guess
is he left-footed as well?
No, he's right-footed.
He's right-footed, but he just plays on the left-hand side.
Yeah. So he's right-footed. Yeah, he cuts in standard drill.
Decent. So we could put for him on the right-hand side then.
You could throw him on the right side. Let me see his stats. Let me see if he's got any stats for the right wing. See what he's saying about that. Yeah, he doesn't play there. He's only played 5 times in his whole career as a right winger, bro.
Oh, I see that there. So that doesn't bode well, does it?
And he's probably not the guy, man. But I guess he's an option.
He's an option, though. People saying about Kvaratskhelia. Someone Mukesh has called him Kvaradonna. Yeah, he's a Donny, but he's not the Donny for us, I'm afraid. And that's not because he's not good. It's because of the club that he's at. We don't deal with Napoli, and I think it'd be a stretch to think that we'll ever deal with Napoli again, given what happened during the Koulibaly saga. So unless something happens, some groundbreaking relationship gets fixed, you know what I mean? That's not going to happen. Napoli fans call him Kvaradonna. Do they actually? That's mad. To be fair, the guy looks sick. Oh, yeah.
He does.
That's another one, bro. Cody Gakpo. Now, United are heavily linked with Gakpo. However, this guy came out yesterday, I think, and said that he'd love to play for City.
He actually said that?
He actually said that he'd love to play for City. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Yeah, he said it'd be an honour to play for Manchester City. Cody Gakpo, apparently, baller, but United apparently are heavily linked to him. The rumour has been for quite some time that Ronaldo leaves in January and Gakpo comes in.
Says here again on Transfermarkt, he plays on the left.
Oh, wait there, Freddie Pie. Taken massively out of context by a City news page, to be fair. We're laughing face. Is that you taking out of context, Mr. Pie?
Yeah, but he plays on the left. He's only played 20 times his whole career on the right side. He played 162 times on the left. So, but he's right-footed. And I don't rate that Eredivisie, me. I think it's a stinky league. I do. I don't think it's a good...
Yeah. Well,
someone tell me the last good player to come from the Eredivisie who played for a championship winning side.
You're bald.
Don't think of any, me.
All Blue with a 5, bro, says, with us being 5 points behind and starting to play our bogey team Spurs twice, do you think that we still have a chance to win the race? I think of course we're still in it. 100% still in it. Oh, yeah. Suarez is a good one, bro. Suarez is a good one. Did Suarez come from Ajax?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, Suarez is a good one. Ibra, Legancao says.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between going for them guys who just slam, you know what I mean? And then you look at some of the midfielders and the wingers that have come, the defenders that have gone. Look at De Ligt. Do you remember De Ligt? Yeah. Everyone was talking about De Ligt. It's going to be like the next fucking best centre-back in the world. Like, oh my God, you need to get this guy.
We were interested as well, weren't we? But then, to be fair, he's gone to Bayern now and apparently he's cooking at Bayern.
It's just, I mean, you look at Antony. Antony won't become a top baller at Man United. He ain't good enough. I just think that you look at some of the players, man, come from there. I think it's heavily rich. I mean, you pay big money. You pay premium cash. So, no, not for me. But yeah, all blue. We still got a chance, man. You know, we're still in our hands technically. Yeah, we have to play Spurs twice.
Yeah, the bogey Spurs twice is a bit of a rip. But
the fact is, every win, bro, that Arsenal win now puts more and more pressure on them to win the league. Can they handle the pressure? That's the big question that remains unknown at this point. So far, so good for them. Do you know what I mean? But we'll have to wait and see till the second half of the season. Labour, yes, a 3-month membership. Yes, how you doing, guys? I'm currently suffering with tonsillitis. That's a rip. Hopefully you get better, mate. Yeah, I've had that a few times, man.
I've had tonsillitis before, so it's not good. It's not good.
Underrated illness, man.
Yeah.
Is that the right word? Underrated.
Underrated. I mean, that kind of sounds like you're rating it like it's good, but then maybe it's underappreciated. How, do you know what I mean? Basically,
it's definitely under-respected illness.
No, they don't respect it enough because like Renner's there says pussy illness, mate. Renner's tonsillitis is grim. It's like he's swallowing glass.
It is hanging. Shout out Farhad, man, says we always fight for all trophies. Yes.
Fight till the end. FTTE.
Big lad. Zeno says the big problem is width. Silva doesn't stay wide. I think that's an instruction.
Yeah, that's a system thing. That
but I agree that is a big problem in certain games. Not having width might work because you'll maybe against like the poorer defensive side. If you're playing against a poor defensive side, I think not having width sometimes can help because you literally just steamroll them through the middle. But against any side that knows how to defend, I think it becomes a little tricky.
Yeah.
Fahad also says Grealish caused a free kick to win against Fulham.
Yeah, true that. Wait, no, Mahrez didn't he?
Does he not talk about Leicester?
Is that the one where Kev scored the worldie?
Because we didn't win off. Is he talking about the Mahrez free kick? Oh, sorry, I thought it was about the Kevin De Bruyne one.
Yeah, see, I thought it was about because Grealish caused the Kevin De Bruyne free kick. But that was against Leicester, wasn't it?
That was against Leicester, yeah.
Yeah, and then the free kick that Mahrez scored, Mahrez won that free kick, and that was against Fulham, wasn't it, to the equaliser goal?
Yeah, correct. I think so.
Yeah.
Rune Dog says, I feel like Gundo is more the issue.
Oh, Mahrez was against Chelsea, by the way, not Fulham. So I don't know.
We've played so many games recently that it's all just blurred into one. We've had so many penalties, so many free kicks.
Bro, it's crazy that we're having this conversation now, and it's not like we're not thinking about a press conference tomorrow or today. Do you know what I mean? And there's not a match on Wednesday. Like the season's been heavy, bro. It's been heavy, man, so far.
What do you make about that comment there about Gundogan from Rune Dogs? Has he been poor this season? What are we saying?
At times, he's very, very frustrated me. At times, he's looked good though. That's an issue. Bit of a hit and miss sometimes. Like with Gundo, I think sometimes he looks a bit too defensive, always passing back. Sometimes he looks great. Looks like he's linking up with our strikers really well. Especially when we started the season, it looked like him and Haaland got off to a good start when he played the game with Alvarez. Obviously, before we got the red card, he got the assist for Alvarez. That seemed decent. But I don't know, man. I think at times Gundo's looking just a bit rough at times. Like sometimes it just seems like I'd prefer a Bernardo in there. Do you know what I mean? Just for a bit more energy, like. And then there is times as well where also, do you remember that game where Grealish and Gundo, bro, were just pretty much stood next to each other. Grealish, Gundo, and Cancelo, bro, all just stood in that same position. You're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just move out of each other's way. So I think he's having one of them seasons where sometimes he can be frustrating and sometimes he can look really good.
Yeah,
hit and miss.
I agree. And the thing is for Gundogan, one of the reasons that sometimes I favour him over Bernardo Silva is because he gets more goals and assists. But actually, if you look at the stats this season, they both got the same amount of goals and Bernardo's got more assists. So if he starts to lose that, I do think his place in the team becomes more and more under threat. Just because, again, Bernardo provides so much more energy. Mm-hmm. And what Gundogan's always had over Bernardo, always, is more goals, more assists. If he starts to lose that impact, like obviously against Brentford, he had a couple of chances that he should have done better with. I do feel that if he starts to lose that impact and not getting as many goals and not creating as many chances, then he's going to find it difficult. And this is me saying this to keep the place in Bernardo's sort of, his challenge for the position. So I do think by his standards, I do think that he's had a poor season so far. Obviously, he's captain in the side. Has that had any impact on the way he's playing? Is he looking at the game differently? Yeah. Pressure. We don't know. But I would like to see when he comes back from the World Cup, I would like to see him just up his game a little bit, up his pace a little bit. Yes, he's getting older. What is he now, 32? Just want to see a little bit more from Gundogan.
Yeah.
And that's me saying that.
His biggest fan. Benno, what the ones that behind you says, Benno says, Piers said today Arsenal have won the Premier League. In my opinion, City too weak.
Well, that's very, very, very naive. That is a very, very naive comment to make because the Premier League is a marathon, not a sprint. How many times in the last few years has the Premier League been won on the last few days of the season? You know what I mean? Especially when City are involved. It's very, very naive. And with all due respect, very sort of expected to come from an Arsenal fan because they've not been in a title race for so long.
They're getting gassed.
If this was Liverpool,
they
no
won.
Liverpool fan.
No Liverpool fan said it's won yet. Also, have you seen that we've had the exact same season as last year so far?
Exactly.
And at this point last year, Chelsea were top.
It's very incredibly naive. And what they don't understand is, well, some of them will, and I'm not saying every single one, but some of the fans who are saying this sort of nonsense is, I say it again, with every single point that they accumulate in every game up until the end of the season, that pressure is ramped up a level because they're closer and closer to the title. And that's when mistakes will start to come in, nerves will start to set in even more, expectation. When the media and other fans of other clubs start saying, yeah, we think Arsenal are going to win, all of a sudden, they're expected to win the Premier League. I don't know what the odds are, right? In fact, I'm going to just quickly check them, right? Who do you reckon's favourite for the Premier League?
I reckon City favourites.
So if I go on outrights, let's have a look who are favourites for the Premier League. Man City are still favourites, right? You put £1 on Man City to win, you get £1.40 back. You put £1 on Arsenal to win, you get £3.20 back. We're 5 points behind. That shows you how much the book is, how much people are still believing that City are the favourites. At some point, if Arsenal keep this up, that'll switch. And then that's when the pressure really kicks in. And I don't believe that they have the squad, the team, to be able to cope with that pressure. And that's why I still heavily believe that City will win this title race, because we've done it. We've been there and we've done it. City not panicking now. We're 5 points behind. City not panicking. We're not asked. You know what I mean? We're like, okay,
we've done this plenty. We've done this plenty of times, bro. We've done this plenty of times.
Exactly.
The amount of times that we've come back from, like, say, 5 points behind to go win a league or whatever it is, you know what I mean? We've done this plenty of times. It's about being there in May. And if they're still up there in May, then credit where credit's due. Like, there's a long way to go in this season. We're not even halfway through.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. Just a bit of breaking news that's come out from United just about an hour ago, actually, so it's not fully breaking. United are fining Ronaldo £1 million for the Piers Morgan interview.
Jeez, and I've seen that they're not going to say anything until they got financial advice. Like,
that is heavy.
That's only 2 weeks of Ronaldo's wages, to be fair.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's a big fine. That's a statement. I know it won't. It won't impact Ronaldo's wallet at all. But from a club, I've never seen a club fine anyone £1 million. So that tells you how much they're not liking the situation. Cheers again, Anthony Gaming, for your super chats. Doper with the 2 says City should have kept Porro from Sporting Lisbon, in my opinion. This transfer is one of the weirdest things I think City have done with the CFG in the last 10 years. Because apparently this guy's meant to be like next level.
Yeah, he's meant to be sick.
And I don't understand what sort of buyback, what sell-on clause we have with him. I don't know what's going on here.
I have no. I can't even tell you. I think we got first dibs basically on the player. I can't remember what it is anymore. The Porro transfer is just wild. What do you say?
So we bought him, bro, for 12 mil, right? He then smashed it at Sporting Lisbon, and we sold him for 8.5 million. And we sold him for 8.5 million, and Transfermarkt said his market value at the time was 25 million euros. So what's going on here? Why have we sold a player for 8 million when he got a market value of 25 million? And why am I seeing rumours that we don't even have like buybacks and like sell-ons and that? Like some weird shit. Like no one knows what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Real Madrid want this guy, apparently. They're interested in him. That's how good he is. He's proper top class. See, Rennes says we can buy him back for 25 million, but I've seen contradictory reports on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the situation. But personally, I don't see Porro being a City player. Just given how like odd the whole situation is with it, I just don't see it happening.
Is he in the Spain squad, bro?
Pardon?
Is he in the Spain squad?
I'm not sure, bro.
Let me have a look. I've got it here now. Right backs. No, I don't think he is, you know. No, he's not been selected. It's Aspilicueta and Carvajal, isn't it? So yeah, he's not been selected. But them two are pretty, they're veterans of the game, so they know it's pretty difficult to get in front of them, to be honest with you. I don't know. That's just a weird transfer.
It's a very weird transfer, isn't it?
Yeah, Jugger says, shall we bring back Frimpong? To be honest with you, bro, I ain't seen him since he left Celtic. I really liked him in the academy. I always thought he was a decent player. Watched him a few times at Celtic, mainly, when they were playing big games or whatever. Not kept track of him. He's not been on my radar since he left Celtic Park, man. So I don't know how he's performed. By all accounts, he's done very well. Apparently United are interested in him and that. I don't know, man, to be honest with you. Dave Rocky. Go on, bro, sorry.
Who's that, sorry?
Frimpong.
Oh, Frimpong, yeah. Loads of people saying that he's sick at the moment. But like I say, I am with you in it. We watched the game together anyway, so I've not really seen him too much. But a lot of people do rate him. But I don't know if people get gassed too much for these players. Like maybe there's a little bit too much gas involved, because of like ex-City and that. But
Possibly.
It could be a baller.
Yes, Dave Rocky, member for 7, says, just wanted to use this member chat to say big up City Extra Gang, LB, JP, Freddie, and all of you City fans. This Premier League is City's, trusting Pep and the players. And that's, thank you for your comment, bro. But the end part of it, that's what I'm like now. I'm just like, I'm believing that Man City, will come out on top due to our experience, right? And ultimately, Haaland will probably fucking win us a lot of the games anyway. And I just don't believe that Arsenal have that. I do not believe that Arsenal have that experience. I do not believe that Arsenal can go the full season without making some big mistakes. I think if Partey gets injured, for example, I think they're in the mud. I think if Jesus gets injured, they'll be in the mud. Odegaard, hugely, will be in the mud. Like, I know people be like, well, if Kevin De Bruyne gets injured, you'll be in the mud. Well, no, that's not true because we've done that before. Which year was it that we won the league where Kevin De Bruyne missed like 4 months or something? We've done this before.
Yeah, but that was the year when Kevin De Bruyne was out and it was Gundo, Bernardo midfield. That's when we got the 21 unbeaten run, wasn't
it? So ultimately, I'm backing that experience wins out. But let's just see. It's right. I mean, I'm excited for the clash. You know what I mean? It's good to see a new challenger in Arsenal coming up. That it's been Liverpool for so long. That is very stressful because you know that they're not going to drop points. With Arsenal, it's like, I think they are going to drop points. I'm just waiting for it to happen. And I'll be surprised if they don't. But if they do go the full season and slam it, then fair dues to them. Dave Rocky then with a 10. Yes, bro. Says, need a live stream with you guys reviewing our first half of the season. It's coming. We're going to go through every fixture.
So, you know what's funny about that, Dave? When me and LB were texting each other this morning, we literally mentioned this. Mentioned this exact stream.
It says, we'll be very interested to see yours and people's thoughts about our start of the season and give it a rating at the end. Yeah, man, we're going to do that. That's going to be sometime in the evening. I don't know whether it's going to be tonight or tomorrow, whatever. But in the next few days, because by sort of Wednesday, Thursday, we'll probably just be full World Cup extras mode. So in the next few days, man, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell for that, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, good suggestion. Any final questions from you guys in the chat? I mean, it wasn't really a Q&A.
It definitely wasn't a Q&A. I think we rename it to like City Talk.
Yeah, random City Talk. And we can actually do a proper Q&A.
We'll do an actual Q&A, yeah.
But if there's any random final questions before we wrap up, Moral watch-alongs. We're watching every single game, apart from England games and games coming after England, because we'll be out with our mates and that. So, yeah, man, strap yourselves in. It's going to be mad.
Yeah. But that basically that is the best way to say it. We're going out, innit? We're going out for England games. For anyone who's England and also supporting England, I'd suggest you do the same. And then all the other games, we're gonna full send as many as we can. There'll be some Xtra Club streams thrown in there. We'll just try to do as many as possible. Yeah.
Someone in the chat there. Let me see who it was, man. Ian says, "Would you take Chaser at City?"
I like Chasing Me. I think he needs this year to kind of prove himself again, just on the basis that last year he got injured, didn't he? So he's been out for quite a bit. So I think he needs to like re-hype himself. It's unfortunate really because he had a sick Euros. Everyone was talking about him, and then he got injured when last season or whatever it is this season, whatever it is. But yeah, I think who's Chaser? Chaser's Chiesa at Juventus.
Yeah. Fun Chaser.
We need to sign just so we can put that on the soundboard, bro.
I know.
That'd be so funny every time he scores. Dun, 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 dun. I seen this. Xavier says, Jordy, what do you think about what Verstappen did yesterday? You know when he held off Perez, because apparently he was meant to let Perez go past him if he couldn't take Alonso, and he couldn't take Alonso, and then just also didn't let Perez go past him. He was like, nah, mate. But nah, I'm not.
That revenge, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm more, to be honest, I'm more disgusted about Russell winning the F1, which is pretty sick.
Masson with a £2 donation says, when will we talk about Jude? We actually did a stream. I put it in the chat there so you can go watch it if you didn't watch it. We did that like maybe a week or two ago.
Oh yeah, we did. I forgot about that.
So that's pretty up to date. We'll do another Jude Bellingham stream when there's more Jude Bellingham news or rumours. At the moment, there's not really been anything else since then. So if you didn't watch that stream, hit that link in the chat. I just put it there for you, bro. Go check that out. That was a pretty good stream. Good question here as well from Ollie B.
I was about to read that off. Yeah.
Says, what do you think Newcastle's ceiling is this season with no midweek football? That's a very, very good question and a very hard one to answer. What are you saying?
It sounds weird, but if they, I just think getting top 4 this year, bro, is such a step, like a fast forward. They've skipped ahead, bro, in their growth of a football club with being bought out and stuff like that. I feel like if they can get top 4, that would be incredible for that football club. So I guess I think the ceiling is top 4. I don't see winning the league.
That's true, yeah, because that was the question. It wasn't the ceiling. I agree.
The ceiling is top 4. Will they get top 4 is a different question. I guess it all depends on the mentality, what they're coming back, and how the second half of the season goes. But as things stand, if you're a Newcastle fan, you're gonna be absolutely gassed sitting in 3rd, only 2 points or whatever it is behind City. Although they have played one more game, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's quite mad. And I look at the teams that are in that sort of top 4 fight. I think Chelsea are in serious trouble, and I don't think they're going to get top 4 now. They are now, with a game in hand on Tottenham, but played the same as United and Liverpool. They are 8 points behind Tottenham. They don't look like a healthy team. Tottenham, they don't look like they enjoy playing football. Whenever I watch them, like I feel like what we experience as neutral fans when we watch Tottenham, because that's when we watch Tottenham, we're a neutral fan in that situation. We're just watching a random game. I hate watching Tottenham. I find them incredibly dull. I find them incredibly boring to watch. I feel like that started to rub off on their players and maybe their fans. I'm seeing fans on Twitter now questioning Conte, criticising his tactics. I look at the players. I've never seen as many players on the pitch just look unhappy and bored and dull, and they don't play with smiles on their face. It's almost like a job and a chore for them. And I just feel like they're in trouble, man, because if the players don't respect him because of the shit football he plays, they could be in trouble. Man United have impressed me. I didn't expect them to be as good as they've been this season. I think they're getting a little bit lucky at times, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. They're getting the job done. They're getting the points. I think they enjoy playing football more than the Tottenham lads do. So I think they've got a really good chance of doing it. And I would never, ever write off Klopp's Liverpool. And Salah is coming back into form. I think that Newcastle will end up losing out in the top 4. And I think it's probably going to be due to a similar reason, bro, that Arsenal are going to lose the title, in my view. And it's just going to be experience and pressure. Because again, people at the moment are saying, oh, can Newcastle get top 4? When people start saying, oh, Newcastle are going to get top 4, that becomes a whole different situation for the players. And I think that's where they might start to struggle. When players who are just not good enough for the top 4 and maybe what's that imposter syndrome, and then they're in the top 4. I think they start getting shit like that. And
where they kind of feel like, wow, we shouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean? And then
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I feel like that's gonna make them struggle.
That could be a thing. I just seen in the chat saying, where's that? 2 people said it. Abubakar said it. Oh yeah, when you guys do a full World Cup preview. Not sure, but we'll definitely get one out there. There's definitely a good conversation to be had. So we'll let you know. Anyway, like I say, subscribe, notification bell, turn on that, because we always just kind of we plan these very, very chill. We're not very strict on our schedules. I always said United have a very good player in Garnacho. Guy's got a bit of attitude, and sometimes a bit of attitude can take you a bit further. That if you know you're good, kind of thing. Yeah, he does have that attitude. Did you see he did the Messi celebration though? A guy held up his shirt like Messi, which I think was pretty. I ain't no celebration, please. You know what I mean? Go for it. I think it's funny. The guy's young. Do you know what I mean? Go for it. That's funny. That. But yeah, I think regarding Garnacho, I think he's definitely a talent. I've seen someone before as well saying, should he leave Manchester United? Will the toxicity of United hold him back? But the thing is, United is going to hit the game time though. That's something that you'd say, and I think they're going through a phase with Ten Hag now. So if he can learn Ten Hag ball, I think he'll always find himself in the team.
The one thing I'd say about game time is that game time's not everything, because look at Marcus Rashford.
Of course. Yeah, I think
has had so much game time at Man United and has ended up being half the player of what he probably should have been because of the way the club has been ran for the last decade.
Yeah, definitely.
If he was at City for the last 10 years, he would have been possibly a world-class player, in my view. I really think that. So I think they need to sort it out. And obviously,
like
the Glazer issue, got the board.
I think United fans would like to think that it's coming to the end of the toxicity. I don't mean. I think a lot of United fans would say that there's a turning in a new leaf or whatever it is. I mean, Ten Hag there, Ronaldo's going to go now. And I think you'd like to imagine they'll just get rid of any of these players that are causing it, but you never know. United nowadays, it seems to just always when things die down, something else props up. Honestly, it's like a never-ending cycle of wild stuff over there. Like,
and that's probably one of the reasons, not just because of the CFA, that ex-United players have sent their kids to the City Academy.
Yeah.
It's not just because the City Academy is better. It's because they don't want to have to deal with the crap that comes with all the baggage at Man United.
Baggage, it is added baggage.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's an interesting one. We'll see how it gets on.
Yeah.
We'll be back tonight anyway for another stream, and then obviously we'll probably do the Q&A tomorrow, and we'll actually do a proper Q&A.
An actual Q&A, we can ask us questions about stuff, yeah.
But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Kept you company for an hour. It's been a decent chat. I'm excited. Just before we go, are you excited for the World Cup, bro? I'm excited.
Yeah, bro, I'm ready for it now.
People saying that they're not asked about the World Cup. I'm excited.
I'm ready for it, bro. Can't wait.
I'm excited. So hopefully you guys are excited, man, because we've got loads of watch-alongs coming. And if you guys are not excited, then them watch-alongs are going to be tough. We need you guys bring in as much energy.
Yeah, we need your energy as well. Yeah.
When there's 3 or 4 a day, man, you guys need to be there ready. So, we'll be back tonight anyway with another stream. Hopefully you guys have a good day. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. Yeah, we'll see you in a bit. See you later.
See you in a bit.